Hey, Facebook. Priority You presents It's Sista Self-Care Sunday. And
Yeah.
as usual, I'm with my partner in crime, Denise. What's going on?
Oh, nothing much today. I want to thank everybody. And Vanette, for her birthday is coming up next week and everything. So she'll be out of town. I wish I was going with her 1 year. I'm gonna go with you, my sister. 1 year, I'm gonna go with you. So,
Oh
but
my
want
goodness.
her to enjoy herself. But yes, we're here this Sunday, Sister Self-Care Sunday, and we're gonna be talking about something that's near and dear to our hearts, definitely.
Absolutely. And so if you all notice, this week our banner is a little different. We are, October is Breast Cancer Aware Month. And
Yes.
so, as Denise stated, this is near and dear to our heart. I don't know anyone who hasn't been affected by breast cancer or some type of cancer, right?
Exactly.
So, if you haven't been the person who's been impacted or have been diagnosed, then you probably had a loved one that you had to
Yeah,
support
exactly.
and pray for and go to doctor's appointments with and try to be supportive of who
Yeah.
has been impacted by this treacherous illness and disease. So we just wanted to make sure that we dedicated this episode to
Yes.
breast cancer awareness and would like to send prayers out to anyone who have been diagnosed, who's going through chemo or radiation, or who have had to have surgery, and prayers to uplift their families.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, because when you go through the cancer, you go through it with your family.
Exactly.
It's not the same as when you going through it, but it's still a very, very hard thing for loved ones to see somebody they care about have to go through such a challenging time.
Yes, that's definitely true. So true, Vanette.
Yeah. So today, you know, um, they say that the stats around breast cancer is staggering.
Yes, it is. They said
And
over 200,000 women will have like breast cancer every single year.
mm,
Every
that's
single.
like around the world, right? Or is it even larger? I can't
It
remember.
probably is a little bit larger. It probably is
Yeah.
definitely a little bit larger. Um, but um, but that's still an alarming amount of women and men, you know,
Yes,
who
yes.
breast cancer as well too. It's a smaller amount, but they can actually get it as well. So
Yeah, yeah, and um that information is staggering. And early detection, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be key. Which leads us to some of our, practical tips that we're talking about. Regular self examinations.
yes,
How often should women be examining themselves?
and so the women should examine their breasts at least once a month, and they want to do it around the same time every single month. And definitely early detection, when you see something wrong, or feel that something is wrong, don't be afraid, because the earlier you catch it, the better off you are, with these types of cancer, with any type of cancer or anything that's going wrong with your body. I know a lot of times we'll be like, oh, I don't want to go to the doctor. I don't want to hear the bad news. I don't want to, but you definitely have to take care of yourself, because you have family members also too, and or friends that may look after and take care of. So early detection is definitely something. When you see something wrong, go get it checked out, ladies and men.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I can attest to that because um
Mhm.
although I didn't have breast cancer, I had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer in the breast. So I had just had my mammogram probably in like February. And then I want to say maybe a couple months later, I was doing a breast examination and
Yes.
I felt a lump. And it was early detection, y'all. So the information that Denise just gave us about doing it at least once a month, the same time every month, so that it can be regular. Because sometimes for those of you who may be on your cycle, that can change how your body is
Yes.
reacting when you're on your cycle. So you want to make sure you're doing your breast examination the same time once a month, just like Denise stated, because that's going to be key. The more we're in tune with our body and what's going on with our body, the sooner we can react to knowing that something is different or something is off. So, for anybody in the audience, what are some steps that you take as it comes to breast cancer awareness?
Yeah.
Like, have you or somebody been affected by this awful disease? If you have, please put, you know, your comments in. Again, this episode, whether you're watching it live or you watch it in replay, is just to bring more awareness to it, to try to give you some additional um, resources that you can use so that we can try to be as healthy as possible.
Yeah.
Um, that's the big thing. So, when we talk about preventative measures, Denise, what are some things about that?
So alongside of the self-examinations, you want to get your annual mammograms. That is very critical. And you want to start, at the age of 40 or earlier if you have a family history of cancer or breast cancer. So that, you definitely, want to get started with that. Um,
Yeah,
and
yeah, absolutely. And as we talk about preventative things, y'all know Denise and I always have notes. So if you see us looking down, it's
yeah.
because we're looking at the notes we got. So as we talk about some preventative measures for breast cancer, generally um, is leading a healthy lifestyle and being vigilant about early detection. So these are things that we're going to be sharing with you all that both men and women um, should do and incorporate in your day to day. And although breast cancer is far more common in women, men still are able to get it. So here are some preventative measures, y'all.
Mhm.
The first thing is healthy diet.
Yes.
Healthy diet. Consuming a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, lean protein, whole grains can reduce cancer risk. Also, regular exercise.
Mhm.
I've heard a lot of people say, watch your sugar intake. Like, watch your sugar intake because they say that sugar is a trigger for that. And also, in addition with regular exercise, they say studies suggest that regular physical activity, even moderate exercise, you guys, can lower the risk of developing breast cancer. So
Yeah.
aim for at least 30 minutes of exercise most days
Every
of the week.
yes, every
Most
day.
days of the week. The other thing they say is maintain a healthy weight.
Mhm.
What they're saying is that obesity, particularly after menopause, significantly can increase the risk of breast cancer. Also, limit alcohol. They say that alcohol consumption has been linked with an increased risk of breast cancer. So, limiting your alcohol to one drink a day for women or two for men is generally advised. In addition, quit smoking.
Mhm.
They're saying smoking is not only bad for your lungs, but that is also associated with increased risk of various types of cancers. So, various types of cancers, including breast cancer.
Exactly. And for the medical measures, you want to get regular screenings, as I said before. Annual mammograms are recommended for women starting at age 40 or earlier. for those who have family history. Men with a higher risk factor may also need screening as well. You want to do your self exam, like I said, regular exam, examine your breasts for any changes in sizes, shape, texture. If you get the dimpling, redness around the your nipple area, um, and consult your healthcare provider if you notice anything unusual. Also, genetic testing. Those with a family history of breast cancer should consider genetic testing uh,
Mhm.
to understand, what your risks are, a little bit better because more than likely, if grandma had it, mama had it, aunties had it, then more than likely you definitely want to make sure that you have a genetic testing to make sure. Sometimes it can skip a generation. With people, we know a lot of things that will skip a generation, but you definitely want to make sure that you're not at risk.
Yeah.
Hormone therapy. If you're at high risk with hormone blocking, uh,
Mhm.
medications may be an option. However, it says these have side effects and the risk of their own. So you want to make sure that you consult your doctor. And then you want to make sure that you consult your doctor. It's important to have the regular checkups. uh,
Absolutely.
to consult your healthcare provider about your risk of breast cancer, especially if you have other risk factors like family history of the disease, as we stated before. So you definitely want to make sure that you're doing everything that you can to stay healthy, ladies.
Yes, absolutely. And for our fellas that's watching, awareness for men is key. So
Hmm.
men, you should be aware of your breast tissue and you should be reporting any changes to your healthcare provider. I mean, I
Yes.
know men, we don't typically tell men to do, breast examination, but you need to also check your breast, your chest area. Check
Hmm.
your chest area, your breast tissue just to see are there any changes, because you want to be aware. And then, I know that men often say, oh, that'll go away or that's nothing. And, because it's hard to get a man to the doctor, y'all. It's
Exactly.
hard to get a man to the doctor. But fellas, we want you healthy too. So
Exactly.
please, when you see changes in your body, go see a doctor.
And women, when you are, a lot of women may not even know how to do a proper self exam. So if you don't, I mean, you can look it up. You want to make sure that when you do your breast exam, that you do have one arm extended up, whichever breast that you're going to be, examining and everything. And you want to go around the breast and press, around the tissues of your breast to make sure you're not feeling a lump in there. Always ask your doctor, consult your doctor of how you can give yourself the self exams at home. I'm pretty sure on YouTube has everything. So if even go out on YouTube, for those who don't know how to properly give yourself a breast exam, I'm pretty sure that there's some information and material out there that you can actually go, and take a look at that will show you exactly how to give yourself a proper breast exam as well too. And that I thought that was important to say because a lot of women may be like, okay, well, they may be squeezing their breasts, and of course, you're going to feel the lymph nodes in there and, different things, but
Mhm.
every woman may not know how to properly give themselves a
Yeah,
breast
yeah.
exam.
I mean, but that's why your regular annual visits to your
Yes,
OBGYN and to your
yes,
primary care ladies are so important
yes.
because in addition to getting other private parts checked out, you need
Hmm.
to make sure that you're aware of how to give yourself a proper breast exam. So
Yes,
I definitely agree with Denise when she says, talk to your healthcare provider, make sure that they walk you through how to do it. I
yes,
mean, you can definitely go on YouTube, but I do like speaking with your healthcare provider just so, you know,
exactly.
you can get the accurate way of doing it.
For those ladies that's stubborn and don't like to go to the doctor and won't go, at least you have other avenues that should not prevent you from actually taking care of yourselves by giving yourself those self exams.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. And then again with men, early detection, family history. Be on the lookout for the BRCA gene mutations.
Mhm.
Screening methods like mammograms and breast ultrasounds are also things that are used for men as well.
Yes.
In addition, check for hormonal imbalances. Hormonal imbalances like elevated estrogen levels in men can lead to a rise of breast cancer in men. Also, monitoring and managing your hormone levels can be an effective preventative measure that you can take. So, just be cautious, fellas. We didn't want to leave you all out, even though we know that the majority of the folks that have to battle this terrible disease are women. So just remember that you can do things that can lower your risk. We're
Yeah,
not saying that any of these can eliminate your risk. And we are
exactly.
not medical professionals. This is just some research that we received of some common information that's out there
Yes.
that we just really wanted to share with you all. Um,
And Vanette, I never thought that, men would actually have breast cancer. I never forget I used to love Shaft, Richard Roundtree. When he, came out and said that he had the breast cancer and everything, I was like, wow, just very, very shocked
but
that.
I'm really happy that he did come out
Yes, I am too. Yes.
because other men, because he came out. I mean, Shaft, that's the manly man.
Oh
Like
yeah. Oh
Shaft,
yeah.
the man,
You're in love with Shaft.
man, right? So if for him to come out,
Yeah.
hopefully gave other men courage to get their bodies examined and to really see about themselves. So I'm
Yeah.
glad that Richard Roundtree came out.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad about that. So Denise, you have a question for the audience?
So let's see here. One second here. I'm sorry that so what do you know of any inspiring stories or resources that are related to breast cancer that you could actually put in the chat? And this is to help someone else that may be going through it or have a family member, that's going through, put the inspiring stories in there. I know me and Vanette, we have an inspiring story for when she had her breast cancer, and everything. And, just making sure, that she was healthy and eating right. And, during a time when she was struggling, with cancer, I made sure that we watched a lot of comedies and we laughed a lot. And because they do say that laughter is medicine for the soul, and we would do those things, and just making sure she got a proper rest. And after her treatments, and just making sure even that the doctors were knowledgeable of, if your loved one has allergies or different things of that nature. So chemo does take a lot out of you, radiation takes a lot out of your body. Just having that loved one, go through the changes in their body. I never forget when I had to shave off all her hair, and you see how beautiful her hair is, long and beautiful.
Girl,
And
I can
when,
tell you, it was so challenging, y'all.
yes,
And I just so thank God that my oncology doctor, Dr. Howard Terabello, shout out to him,
yes, yes,
because it was so funny. Like I had the worst breast cancer surgeon who had gave me, who had did like the biopsy, and she just called me on the phone and she delivered. She was just like, yeah, the good news is you don't have breast cancer, but you got cancer. Lady, that was good news. I still heard the C word. What are you talking about right now? And so Yeah, she was just like, okay, I delivered the message. She didn't make sure, she didn't check to say, do you have any family members around or anything like that? She just delivered it and that was it. Needless to say, I just feel completely all apart.
Yeah.
I done called my closest friends that are like sisters, and you know, they both was just like, you're gonna be just fine. Denise was like, we're gonna be sitting on the porch like old ladies having a good time.
Rocking chair,
You know,
yes.
we didn't
But
rock
I
the
just
chairs
left our house. I was there all morning
all
for
the
the
morning.
people to get the news, and I would be there for her. And as soon as I left to go home, then she calls me, and I turn right back around and go back to the house, and she's, hysterical. I
His
mean, because the way the doctor provided the news for her was
It was just so
definitely,
cold. It
yeah,
was so cold, and she had no bedside manner
empathy,
whatsoever.
nothing.
Nothing.
Vanette was like, "No, you don't understand. I'm dying." I
Right?
said,
I'm
"We
like,
are not going to die. We are going to be sitting on a porch in our rocking chairs, cracking up, laughing about this
"Mm."
situation, along with the other things that we've gone over throughout our lives together and stuff." And so, yes, so it does matter.
It
It
does.
does
And
make a
then
difference. Yes,
when I got so after having that doctor, and they told me who my oncology doctor was, Dr. Howard Terabello, I was like, well, how is this doctor? I asked somebody, and they was like, well, he's very, very good, but he doesn't have the best bedside manner. So I was so nervous when I was going in there, because I was like, if I get another cold, uncalculating, I mean, just distant, emotionally distant, doctor, and I'm going through this, I'm gonna have a fit. So I had my notebook, had Denise.
we did. We always had.
We always had a notebook, y'all. Always had to take notes. And I recommend when you're going to your doctor's appointments, always have a caregiver with you,
Yes.
because you're so emotional. Like I was just out of there. Like my brain was just whoop. You seen Tweety Bird flying around my brain. It was so much going on. But Denise was right there. So we was trying to capture all the notes, everything the doctor was saying, and everything. Long story short, Dr. Terabello turned out to be so loving, and he was so kind to me. And I was like,
I
God
told
did that
Jeanette,
thing.
I
Because
told Jeanette that was her boyfriend
I was
because
like,
he was so good to her.
he was more like a father figure, because Dr.
Yes,
Terabello was
yes. But I used to
old.
always tease her. I
He's
used to always tease her and say he is such a good doctor.
He
And yeah,
is, because he was always just like, how are you, baby girl? And
yeah,
I was just like, oh, I just felt like I had my dad giving
yeah.
me my care. And anytime I was worried about anything,
Mhm.
he didn't hesitate to get me in. He didn't hesitate for anything. Like
Yes.
he just gave me everything I needed, from emotional support, just being kind and let me just talk and say whatever and ask whatever, honestly. So it just makes a difference. So also I just want to give kudos to all the doctors that
Yeah.
work with cancer patients, all the doctors, all the nurses, all the medical providers that work specifically with cancer patients and breast cancer patients. To those of you who are so kind, so relentless, so caring, thank you so much. Thank you so much, because it truly means a lot. To the caregivers that are keeping a smile on people's faces, helping them remember that right now you're still living. Like right now you're living, and we're going to live.
Yeah.
Right now, having a positive mindset for me, that was critical. Like just being in the mindset, and even when I would have some medications that would make my bones ache,
Oh
I
yeah.
can remember just like aching and just like crying, but at the same time thanking God, because I'm like, I'm thanking him for my healing right now. Like
Yes.
right now, I'm thanking him for my healing. So a positive mindset. Um, One thing that I remember from the cancer, I believe it was the chemo, was that it messes with your taste buds, so everything tasted like metal.
To
So the
her.
only
Yeah.
thing I could eat was green vegetables. Them the only things that tasted good. So I would eat a ton of cream spinach, a ton of regular spinach, And all the other stuff I used to like to eat just tastes terrible. So that's one way of getting your veggies in. So I didn't have a choice because most everything else didn't really taste good.
And I would try to make sure she had some other, fattening things too for her to eat, just so that she would keep her weight up and not, like sometimes we'll get some ice cream or some yogurts or some, different things of that nature, to try to, keep her so that she wouldn't lose as much weight, and I'll never forget the time when I did have to shave her hair off, but first we went to
We went to the
first
hairdresser.
we went to our hairdresser, and
Woo!
she made her a she made her go out of here. She made her a wig to go on. Was the color of her hair. But she had a moment too, because I'm sitting there while she's, putting together the, lace front wig for her and
But
making it.
remember, before she did start the wig, she had to cut my hair off. So she
Yeah.
cut my hair off, like my hair was cut like this short.
Yes.
Because I was like, just cut it short. So if it start falling off, at least it won't be long clumps just coming out, freaking me out.
And when she actually started cutting it,
We
she
all
started
broke
getting
down.
emotional.
Yeah,
And
we all broke
I
down.
was sitting on the other side of her doing like this, like, trying to shake my head, like, And so I had to take her out in the back. And she was like, I've been growing her hair. And I'm like, I know. But right now we got to hold it together. We got to make sure that we strong for her. And so we did our little thing out in the back of the shop. And then, once everything, she got herself collected herself to, then we went back in, and I sat there because I could see tears, about to just drop. And I'm like, I'm just sitting there like this. So Burnett wouldn't knew what was going on. And I'm like doing like that. And I'm like, okay, come on, let's go out in the back for a minute and everything. So, but then, yeah, that one day that I came over after she had her hair cut short, just shaved it all off. But I'm gonna tell you, my sister rocked the scarf look. The wig that she had, she didn't even wear it. I don't even remember her wearing it at all. And I do remember telling her, "You are not your hair." Because she's like, "My hair is long." I'm like, "You are not your hair. It's gonna be okay." I told her, once everything is over, your hair is going to grow back so beautiful and so long and everything. And for the longest time, when her hair started growing back after she had all of her treatment and everything, she kept it short. For the longest time, she kept it short.
For years,
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 she
years.
started letting it grow back. But for years after that, I was like, see, you talking about my hair, my hair. I'm like, and look at you getting your hair cut short and keeping your short look, going and, get it done and everything. So yeah. So it's definitely a traumatic, thing to go through a loved one. You hate to see them going through the pain. You hate to, you know, um, see the different, changes, within their bodies and everything. But if you're a positive person, you have to stay positive for that person.
Yeah.
You really
I mean,
do.
it was just all around. It was just challenging because I just think I remember before I started the chemo treatment, I took the kids on a trip. I
Yes.
can't remember where we went.
I think you went to Kalahari, didn't
We
you?
either went to Kalahari or we went to Chicago. I can't remember, but I know we went on a trip, and I remember um wanting them to have a really good moment before I had to start, all
Yes.
this stuff. And when I tell you, I never forget when I had to take them to their dad's house because when I had my first chemo treatment, I didn't want them around because I didn't know how I was going to be. I didn't know if I was going to be throwing up. I didn't know, I just didn't know what to expect. And I remember telling them, sitting down telling them that, I had to go, get some medical stuff done and that I was telling them, in advance, like, mommy's gonna lose her hair. And they was like, "Are you gonna be bald headed?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be bald headed." And then I could tell the wheels was thinking, the wheels in their heads was thinking. And then when I got them in the car and we were going to take them to their dads, they were like, Mom, do you have cancer? And I mean, I just about broke. About broke. And I told him, yeah, I was like, but God got me. Y'all don't have nothing to worry about. I just got to do what the doctors say. They're going to give me some treatment. I'll be fine. So it's just, like I said, it's just a lot. It's a lot. But they do have support groups. So let's talk about the support, right? We talked about the great medical providers, the caregivers, but they also have like the American Cancer Society that's
Mhm.
out there, the Susan G. Komen. They
Yeah,
offer financial assistance as well as support with the diagnosis and treatment. They have the National Breast Cancer Foundation. They
yeah,
also provide educational resources, free mammograms for those who need it. They have an organization called Cancer Care, and they
yeah,
offer free professional support services, including counseling, support groups, educational workshops, publications, and financial assistance. They have the Breast Cancer Research Foundation, which is a good source for the latest news in breast cancer research and treatment. And then they have support groups, I'm sure, on Facebook that you can get with women who are going through the same thing or caregivers who are caring for somebody that's going through this. So those are just a few of the resources that are out there and available for you.
yes.
Denise, you have anything for our folks before we get ready to wrap it up?
So yes, definitely. As we say, ladies, take care of yourself. Men, take care of yourself as well too. And absolutely, we're all about arming you all with knowledge. Every week that we come on to take better care of yourselves and to just make sure all around to just keep yourselves just care and love on yourselves.
Yes.
And that's the main thing. If you never care or and you're caring for other people all the time and everything, a lot of times this is how women miss things like this because they're not doing a self-care. They're not caring, on themselves and loving on themselves
Right. Right.
and noticing the difference or noticing, you just don't feel good because, oh, I'm just caring for this person, that person, this person. No, check on yourselves, lady and men. Make sure that you do that, just so that you'll live a long life. You'll be there for your families and just be there for yourself.
Right. Now, before we get out of here, I do have another resource I want to share with you all. Her name is Dr. Tanya MD.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go to Instagram at Dr. Tanya MD. That's DrTonyamD. She is an oncologist and also a breast cancer survivor. And she is a coach that helps breast cancer survivors in the next chapter. So she's going to be hosting a free workshop, y'all, next Sunday.
Oh, great.
Now, this free workshop is called The Journey to Wholeness. Go over to Instagram, click the link in her bio, register. It's free. It's totally free. It's going to be from 7, it's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next Sunday. So go check her out. I think do I have this is you probably can't see a little bit. That's a little bit of it. But go check her out, Dr. Tanya. Click the link in her bio on Instagram and register. It's totally free. She's also on Facebook, I think, as Dr. Tanya MD. So
Mm-hmm.
check her out. Go register. That's another free resource out there for you. So if you're coming out on the other end of this thing and you beat it, and
Yes.
now you're like, okay, what do I do?
Yes.
Start with Dr. Tanya. She has some fantastic advice, resources for you. Get back to being you, the you that you want to be, right? Okay. Well, everybody, we like to thank you all. For those of you who are watching this in real time, thank you for joining. For those of you who may see this as a recording, either on our YouTube channel or on Facebook, Please leave comments. We appreciate all the comments and support and care for somebody who may be going through.
Yes.
Denise said, take care of yourselves.
Take care of yourself,
Your
everybody.
doctors,
Yeah.
because no matter how afraid you are, the the crazy thing is we get so fearful about what the doctor might say, but the information that they tell us could get worse the longer we wait. The
Yes.
sooner we get in, the better our chances are for better results. So let's take care of ourselves.
Yes.
Everybody have a wonderful Sunday, and
Yes.
I'll see you in 2 weeks.
All
Bye.
right.